السلام حياة قد جاء في القرآن أن السلام.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to Itrend on ITV. I'm your host, Zahira Bam Ismail. This week, all over social media, on WhatsApp groups, the only thing we're hearing about and the one thing that we're seeing is everything related to Charity Week. We weren't sure what Charity Week was about because for most of us, there's always a regular involvement in it. But all of a sudden, it's been highlighted that this specific week coming up has to do with a specific focus linked to specific organizations and getting everybody in the community involved. We want to know a little bit more about it. So we got the people behind the scenes, the people that work exceptionally hard to make these events a reality, into studio to chat to us and to give us and you a little bit more information. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Nabila Mayat, Fatima Nanabai, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Nabila, I think let's start with you. You are well known in the charity organizations, everything with regards to events, to very big names within our community, always seems to have a link back to you. And alhamdulillah, you've done a remarkable job with that as well. Tell us a little bit about your involvement with Islamic Relief and where you are at the moment, because I know, as I mentioned, whenever we talk about charity, we know Nabila Mayat's name is attached to it.
Thank you, Sarah. My background is PR, so I do anything events related, PR related, and my passion is charity, giving back. So it seemed like a natural fit when Islamic Relief. I mean, we've been working together over the years, but over the last year, I've been taking a more active role in Islamic Relief. I'm based in the Johannesburg office, and I do. We're a family there, so we do everything from events to, I do everything that needs to be done. In terms of Charity Week, Islamic Relief is the parent body for Charity Week. So because of everything we do around the world, because everything we do in South Africa, it seemed like a natural thing to pair up with somebody like Fatima. And she's actually dealing with all the logistical sides of it. And so we just oversee the whole thing, just to create an awareness around what charity is, around what fundraising is, and to create a united front locally where we can all get together and do something good for the community.
So I have to also ask you, is that Islamic Relief is a worldwide renowned organization that does so much. But the one thing that stands out for me about Islamic Relief in South Africa is its links to community. It doesn't step aside and do its thing on its own. It's very involved in supporting other organizations on the ground, pairing up with other organizations, supporting initiatives. Why the need to feel this connection to the community that you belong to?
I'm actually glad you asked that question, because one of the biggest and most important aspects of Charity Week, which links then to Islamic Relief, is unity. And the second biggest thing is sustainability. And the reason we use volunteers and the reason we go back to our community is because one person can't do as much as 10 people can do. As much as I'd like to go out and save the world, I can't. So by being united and by bringing in volunteers, bringing in other organizations, because we all have the same goal.
Yes.
So I can say we're Islamic Relief and we do this on our own, but I won't get as far as if I pair up with community members, other organizations, and in that way we go to our step 2, which creates more sustainable ways to help the community. Because I can go once off to a hospital, for example, and do something, but that's not going to do very much. Yes. But if I have people on board, if I have people behind me, if I have other organizations supporting me, there's so much more we can do over a longer period of time. So that's actually, I'm glad you asked that question, because that's where it boils down to, is unity and sustainability.
Absolutely, and I think you epitomize that at Islamic Relief by showing the power of collaboration.
That's it. That's exactly
which is fantastic, and I love this. So Fatima, let's chat to you now, because where does your role fit in? Because this is something, Charity Week is something new to us. If I'm not mistaken, It's the first of its kind that's happening in South Africa. But tell us a little bit more about what your role is and your involvement in it.
So Zara, I like how you said that, it's all over social media, and I think the people, they actually want to know what is it, because it's so new. So basically, Charity Week was established in 2003. It was established in the UK by a brother, Dr. Wajid Akhtar. Right now he's a doctor, but I think at the time he was still studying, and he was at university. He took a shoebox and he started collecting money. And from there, it spread to 7 countries, South Africa being the 7th one. So it's in the UK, it's in Canada, it's in the USA, it's in Australia, it's in Germany. and South Africa and Qatar as well. So basically there's 1 week in the year where everyone comes together for one purpose. And, like Nabila said, the vision is unity, and together we can do more. So I think my role, it started off last year sometime where, it was just an online application, sitting on Facebook. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Zain Bika who posted an application for it. And 2 months later, my application got accepted, and I was on the national team.
Fantastic.
And then I flew down to Cape Town for an assemble where all the national team basically gets together. And through that, because I'm an educator at the Auckland Park Academy of Excellence, I thought that, this is a good opportunity to get the youth involved. And at Apex, I think we pride ourselves on creating that holistic child. And, one of the things that really stick out for me is the Amir of our school, Mr. Yunus Gangat, at the matric dinner, he mentioned something, and he said, through worship and good deeds, we get paradise. But through serving others, we get the proximity of Allah. And I thought, this is an opportunity. If our school stands for that, and that is something that we do, through our social outreach programs, this is where I need to give the learners and empower them, to actually take part in social events, to be volunteers, and it's so exciting to see how excited they are.
That's fantastic.
Yesterday we had a bake sale. I'm sure
Yes, I saw that.
It was on our Apex Instagram as well. And just, I took a step back at one moment and I just looked at them, and, they all just did their thing.
Alhamdulillah. And I must tell you, the one thing that stands out for me about the Apex learners, I always maintain, is the akhlaq of the children. I've never been in an environment where it's every single child will come up and make salam, will come and see if you need anything. And the akhlaq, you can see the surroundings that impacts on these children is remarkable. And I have no doubt that events like this contribute to them being wholesome individuals that are going to make impactful lives for themselves and purposeful lives. But I have to ask you, why do it? Why take that initiative when you saw Zain Bika advertising it to do it? Because I think my reasoning for asking this is, so you're a young lady, many people will sit back and go, somebody else will do it. I'll get involved when something comes up in my community. Let somebody else have the hassles of taking it on. And I think Nabila and I both can attest for the fact that no one understands how much happens behind the scenes and how many sleepless nights there are and how much work it actually takes to put something like this together. So it's easy to say I can support it and I'll be a part of it, but to actually take that initiative to say this is something I want to run with. I want to know what made you do that. Why did you feel this was something you actually wanted to take on? What was the personal motivation?
I think, as an educator and as a teacher, you're constantly with the youth. And I think you see, I don't say problems, but you see the need in the community. You see the need with the youth to actually get involved in initiatives like this. And that's definitely, I think, one of the motives where I said, if like you said, if everyone has to say, I'll take part in something else, nothing ever gets done. And I think being with the youth on a daily basis, I took that as an opportunity. And I think also, like you said, it's a gift from Allah, It is so funny because I actually, when I sent that application, there was a field that was missing. And I kept submitting it and it kept redirecting me. And I think I did it about 3 times. I was almost going to give up until I did something right and my application actually was successful.
I always feel Allah chooses you for something. You don't get to choose what you want to do. Allah decides what needs to be your way. And then it's your choice whether you take it or not and what you do with it.
Exactly, you have to grab it.
How did Charity Week actually get linked to an organization like Islamic Relief? I mean, you're saying it's been around since 2003, right? Has this always been linked to Islamic Relief? Because I know Islamic Relief has a very strong hold in the UK. Was this always a partnership program, or has this been more recent?
It's always been a partnership, and the reason is because Islamic Relief is on the ground. So once the funds are collected, Islamic Relief is ready. They're there for them to, for the projects that we identify for that year. And
what I love about that is that we know it's going to a reputable organization. We know it's a registered organization. There's full transparency and funds are being utilized where it needs to be given.
I mean, all the last year's charity week, all the documentation, where the funds went, you can go online, you can download all of that. So that's nice to know. Even if you're contributing this year, you can see last year where it went. And there are a few places around the world that you can choose. You can decide which place it goes to. So it doesn't just go to one place. We as Johannesburg can decide we'd like it to go to Syria, for example, or Afghanistan, or whichever place we decide. And just to go back to your thing about Islamic Relief, so a Charity Week is a campaign of Islamic Relief. So that's how we say it. It's one and the same.
Yes.
So if you're donating to Charity Week, you're donating to Islamic Relief.
And I think that's important for people to know, because very often we see organizations coming up. We're not sure, is it something that's registered? Is it reputable?
Exactly.
Where's my money going? I need to know that my money is going in good hands, and that to projects that are going to be sustainable, and that to individuals that are going to need it, and it's been identified. And I'm so glad to see the collaboration, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Fatima, in terms of getting these learners excited, I know they were thrilled yesterday. I was watching a bit of Zahir Raja's videos, and I saw the excitement and how the kids wanted to be a part of everything. But you've also got dynamic individuals in our community who are known for fitness, who are known for getting the community together, who want to build a community. You've got all of them on board. How did you just put all of this together?
It was a teamwork. It was teamwork, definitely, with friends and family. And Nabila, getting on board, I have a really, really strong team, I think, in Johannesburg. And, we meet up weekly, if it's not, more than that. And, we sit together and we can argue and laugh. But you know what? It is a teamwork. And, we basically had to have a few events. And we planned that through that. And, with motivation, all over social media as well as Zahra, we thought, what? This is an opportunity to contact them. And, I think without even a split second of hesitation, they came on board, and they've been helping with everything. That it's not that we're just doing the program and that's it.
I think what's lovely about this collaboration, it is truly not just people in our community who are giving back, but it's people who are made of soul, who want to just contribute and not only network our community, but give back to others as well. They are remarkable. You only have to listen a little bit longer to find out exactly who's involved. But just before we go for an ad break, I always say to everyone, when Nabila Maya picks up the phone and says to you, I need help, you're not allowed to say no. You just can't say no, because it's something good and it's something that's going to be impactful. And Fatima Nanabai is following in those steps very strongly as well. Stay tuned. When we come back after the ad break, we find out how you can get involved in Charity Week.
وابذل عطاء للورى ترى الحياة حلوة إذا الحياة تشترى ازرع جمالا أعطارا وابذل عطاء للورى ترى الحياة حلوة إذا الحياة تشترى.
Be part of the preservation of the word of Allah by sponsoring a Hafiz for only 2,000 rands a month. Remember, Allah is in the assistance of His servant as long as He is in the assistance of others. Every nation is built on a solid foundation. The Al Tawheed Foundation. Contact us on 011 211 6009.
Meet Thandi. Thandi loves talking about the next best thing. You see, she's what you call connected. One thing Thandi never talks about is her house, because style definitely doesn't live there. Well, Thandi, now you can, because with Lifestyle Ceramics, you can surround yourself with brands like Roberto Cavalli and Versace. At Lifestyle Ceramics, we'll design your bathroom for you. Just send us the measurements. For more, visit lifestyleceramics.co.za. Lifestyle Ceramics, premium tiles and bathroom wear.
Spa Serene and Nadia's Thai Massage offers both young and old treatments, ranging from facials to help with marks and blemishes or just to keep your skin healthy, and a full range of face and beauty products. Natural and holistic Thai massages to help alleviate muscle pain or slight sports injuries, as well as an in-house henna artist. Our facilities include a sauna, shower facilities, and a couples massage room. We have on-site parking and on-site security.
IDM has translated the Quran into Afrikaans, Xhosa, Zulu, Chichewa, and Sotho. The Qurans are distributed free of charge. Each Quran costs 50 rands. Sponsor a pack of 100 Qurans for only 5,000 rands and earn Sadaqah Jariyah. Call IDM at 031 304 6883. IDM, taking Islam to as many hearts and homes as possible.
ازرع جمالا أعطاره وابذل عطاء للورى ترى الحياة حلوة إذا الحياة تشترى ازرع جمالا أعطاره وابذل عطاء للورى ترى الحياة حلوة إذا الحياة تشترى.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to the show. We're chatting to Fatima Nanabai and Nabila Mayat from Islamic Relief and from Charity Week to tell us all about what's happening next week, what we have to look forward to. Nabila, Fatima, let's just start with you. With regards to Charity Week, what exactly are the dates for Charity Week?
Okay, so Charity Week South Africa is running from the 1st to the 7th of October. But because Apex is an institution signed up under Charity Week and we are a school and it's a school holidays, I've basically requested if we could have done 1 or 2 events the week before just to get the whole school involved. You know, with the holidays, it's hard to get the kids together. So, but the official week is the 1st to the 7th.
So what do we have to look forward to? I know that there's been events that have been advertised and that. Tell us about the events that are coming up.
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, yesterday actually we had our bake sale, and it was so nice because there were 3 other schools as well that did it with us. So there was the Roshni Islamic School, there was Al Ghazali, and there was the Tuane Muslim School. So, we're very thankful to them as well, to come on board and just help us raise a bit of funds, and like we said, the vision is unity. So we got them involved as well. So, and then our next event, which is on Sunday, we have our Grow Your Gains fitness bootcamp presented by Zahra Said and Motivation. And, there's food vendors on the day. So if you're not into the fitness and you don't want to come for that, you can still come, bring the family, It's a 10 Rand entry fee to the food vendors. And there's going to be Nasheed artist as well. Brother Tariq Owais Malinga will be there.
Oh, and he's amazing.
Mohammed Fakir, he's a student at Apex. He's going to be there as well. We have Abdul Manak as well coming there to entertain the kids. So there is going to be entertainment on the day. So there's a 10 Rand entry fee. And the tickets are available on Quicket for the fitness day.
Tell us about the fitness itself. I know Mo and Zahra have both been on the show as well. They are 2 dynamic individuals that even if you don't want to exercise and you hate exercising like me, you will end up exercising because they convince you it's something you want to do. Tell me about their segments that you're going to be running and what the fitness segments are about, because I know families can come and enjoy the whole day out as just an outing, but in terms of the fitness segments?
Okay, so Zahra's dad, Salih Said,
who we've also had on the show.
He's doing a kiddies karate class, and that's for free, but it is online as well, so just to register the children, so that he has that planned in the morning. And then afterwards there's a men's challenge and a ladies challenge where prizes are going to be won, to win prizes, and a trophy as well. I see Mo as well has got a trophy for the fittest in Johannesburg, and he's challenging everyone for that.
I see that.
So we have a women's challenge, a men's challenge, we have a self-defense class by Salih Said as well, and Zahra's doing her movement class with the ladies.
Brilliant. So for people who are unable to attend on that day for whatever reason, whether you're not in Johannesburg, whether there's functions on or out of town, but still want to contribute to this, because like we said, it's really something that's going to make a difference. What I love about this event is the fact that, to get our community out, it's one thing to just give money to an organization, but this is also about community building, and it's networking amongst our community members, so that when events like this take place, it's not just about, it's collecting money, but it's for us to also know the people behind the scenes, the people that are doing the hard work, the people that are responsible for your money. And it's to also build our networks amongst ourselves as well. So I love the fact that you're doing this, and you're not just saying, well, here's the banking details, donate money. But for those of us that are not able to be there, can we still participate?
Yes, of course. So the nice thing about it is you can sponsor somebody else to come and do the fitness challenge, because not everybody can afford to come through. So that's a nice thing to do. And the second thing is, if you want to come through and you don't want to do the fitness, like Fatima said, you can pay the 10 Rand entrance and come in. But the most important thing is we'd like everybody to enjoy this day. So for those that cannot afford it, if you feel like you can't come but you'd like somebody else to have the experience, you're welcome to donate towards that. We will be putting up the banking details on the Apex Instagram page.
Great.
So if you need any of that, or you can contact myself or Fatima just for details, and we can send you those details.
Perfect. And then we'll end up reposting those as well, so that people have access to that.
Because I mean, there's lots of people who want to do it, but maybe it's out of the also out of their comfort zone. So maybe you can sponsor somebody and send them through, you know, and tell them, like you said, Mo will get anybody to want to or to love exercise.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so that's taking place this Sunday.
Yes, that's on the 30th of September.
Right.
And then on the 7th of October, which is the next Sunday, we have a walk for unity at the Rietvlei Zoo Farm.
Fantastic.
So the tickets are also available on Quicket. You know, I took a drive there one of the weekends just to see the place, and you know, there's so much activities for the kids as well. So it's a brilliant picnic. We have a lapa hired out as well. So you know, there's shade, and we've cornered off a little area for us for the day. So yeah, so that basically takes you through a trail as well. And then we'll come back and hopefully we'll all have a nice picnic together.
Absolutely.
So it's just a brilliant picnic on the day.
And obviously there are still tickets available for both
Yes.
these events, so
Yes,
people
indeed.
can still get involved.
Yes.
What about other schools and other organizations that want to get involved? Obviously this year is already into effect,
Right.
but from next year, I'm assuming Charity Week will now continue every single year as a highlight of the Islamic Relief calendar?
Yes, that's it. It started in 2003, but this is the first year we're doing it in Johannesburg, and inshallah it will be something that we'd like to sustain and carry on for next year. At the moment, Apex is the organization we're working with, but like we said, it's all about unity. It's all about working together.
Coming together.
Yes, so if anyone else is interested, you're welcome to contact Islamic Relief or Fatima at Apex, and we can see how we can move forward.
I love the fact that you've got other schools involved, that you had other schools already involved in it. It shows the collaboration amongst our youth as well,
Yes,
who are all
definitely.
willing to give back. And I have no doubt that this will end up being a highlight for our community to look forward to, because, you know, we're always aware of the fact that a certain time of the year it's PH Awareness Month, at certain times it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I love the fact that although we are a community that's always giving, that we do have Charity Week, not for us, but more for our children, that there's something during this week that they can contribute to and give to. And I think I'm going to challenge my kids to take out money during this week and to do something around the home to collect it for Charity Week. And I urge you to do the same for your children. Take out something this week and say, challenge your kids to donate something to Fatima and to Nabila's cause. And I think, I'm sure there'll be buckets around on that day that people can just pop that money into.
Another thing is, you're talking about the kids. In terms of charity, one of the most important aspects is volunteering. And we try to start it as young as possible, because the young people have a lot of excitement. They've still got the energy to do it. So we also try and urge the community, and we try and create an awareness and education around volunteering and how important that is, because half an hour of your time could change somebody else's life. And if we, like we said in the unity aspect of it, if we all do it together, if each person gives just half an hour, imagine what we can give at the end of it. So to the youth, we'd like to say, please just, whatever time you have, volunteer it, whether it's at Islamic Relief or another organization, because you may not know what that half an hour may mean to somebody else. Because even you may not be able to give money, but you can give time, and time in many aspects is even more valuable.
But I think that ties in so much to what Fatima had said earlier about what I think it was the principal of Apex had said, the Amir of Apex, about the proximity to Allah. And I think what a beautiful way to say, you know what, if you actually want that, what an easy way to be able to do it. You've been given so many opportunities repeatedly. We have so many organizations in our community. I guarantee you there's enough in your communities as well. And if you can't be someone like Fatima, just pick up the email, pick up a phone. And I mean, Fatima decided to contact an organization that's linked up to one of the biggest organizations worldwide, and she's doing it. So there's nothing that stops anybody from picking up the phone and starting something like this.
You know, Zara, overseas, it's actually, there's so many youth involved. You know, it's actually for the youth to get, you know, socially engaged and united. And I think, you know, you have, and like Nabila said, it has to start off in childhood. It has to start off with children and the youth, and it empowers them, and they take that up to childhood. I mean, to adulthood. And you know, the qualities of kindness and generosity, it has to be instilled, you know, from a young age. You know, you can't say 25 and 30 now, I want to start giving. It's instilled from the time they're young. And that's why I think it's so important as educators, as schools, to give them these opportunities. And I think we'll be failing in our duty if we don't.
And I think even us as parents, because, very often we kind of leave the responsibility to say, school can teach them, school can do this.
Right.
But unless we're doing something as parents ourselves and reinstilling that and reinforcing that in our homes, we're also losing focus. And I think especially living in a country like South Africa, where the divides are getting so much larger, unless you're actually teaching your children to actively learn how to build bridges and how to make sure the next person is also okay, we're going to completely lose our focus.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think you ladies are seriously on the right track and you're doing the right thing here. So again, just to reiterate, if anybody wants to get involved in Charity Week, you contact Nabila or Fatima, or you're welcome to go through the Apex Instagram pages. I think we've also listed the pages on our on the television screen, and people can get in touch with you. You can buy tickets to attend the event. You can contribute and donate to attend the event. You can even just email and say, I want to run this in my town next year. Tell me what to do. And they'll give you ideas on how to do it as well. Because I think very often, many of my viewers say to me that many of the things are just happening in the Johannesburg area and they don't have access to it, and they may be in smaller towns. What are your suggestions for them in terms of still saying, well, you've got next week to do something. What can they get involved with so that they can still be party to this?
So basically how a Charity Week is run, there are institutions that are signed up under Charity Week. Apex is actually the only institution in Johannesburg signed up, and I think that basically happened because I was in the national team and I got thrown in there as well. But there's 9 other institutions which are signed up in Cape Town. So it was going to be launched in Cape Town. So in Cape Town as well, there are many, many events happening under about 9 other institutions. So there's a lot of events happening there. And I think we just need the sustainability of the organization, just to make sure that, launching it in South Africa for the first time. So inshallah, next year it will definitely grow, and, other institutions will be able to sign up, and also, if you're in a small town, it's okay. You can sign up your group and your institution or your little charity group that you have there and sign them up, and you can run those events in your communities as well. But, I think there will be more information with regards to signing up of institutions for next year.
Fantastic.
And it's simple, doable initiatives that you can take, like the cake sale, the bake sale. So it's even in a small town, even if you don't have that much manpower, so to speak, you can do something small. You can do smaller things, which is nice. And at the end of it all, it's also about having fun. It's for the youth to have fun.
A fitness challenge, and go and challenge motivation and Zahra and say, this is what our community is doing. We're going to take a very quick ad break. When we come back, we'll listen a little bit more about the other events and we'll round up from there. So stay tuned.
ازرع جمالا أعطاره وابذل عطاء للورى ترى الحياة حلوة إذا الحياة تشترى ازرع جمالا أعطاره وابذل عطاء للورى ترى الحياة حلوة إذا الحياة تشترى.
Carpet City has been installing Musalla carpets in masjids, madrasas and Jamaat Khanas for over 15 years, providing a complete turnkey operation from design and colour choices to installation and after-sales service. We have an extensive range of designs and colours to match your taste. Let our professional team assist you in choosing a Musalla that suits your budget. We service clients across the country. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote on 021 633 8222 or email us carpet@mweb.co.za. Carpet City, your professional Musalla carpet company.
Join the conversation. Like us on Facebook, ITV Networks. Follow us on Twitter @ITV_SA. Keep up to date with all the programming and subscribe to our YouTube channel, ITV Networks.
Bring your whole family and make your life so much easier with 1UP Cash and Carry, where you get more for less and excellent customer service at its best. Remember, wholesale prices straight to the public. 1UP Cash and Carry, where you get more for less.
More for less. It's easier with 1UP Cash and Carry.
الله أكبر.
ازرع جمالا أعطاره وابذل عطاء للورى ترى الحياة حلوة إذا الحياة تشترى ازرع جمالا أعطاره وابذل عطاء للورى ترى الحياة حلوة إذا الحياة تشترى.
Assalamu alaikum. We're chatting to Nabila Mayat and Fatima Nanabai all about Charity Week, something that is all over social media, but something that needs to be in our hearts as well, that we need to take an active presence and make sure that we're contributing to organizations that are making an impact on the lives around them. One of the questions that came in is, where is this taking place? Because we've been chatting about this amazing event that's taking place on Sunday with Motivation and Zahra and Uncle Solly said, but where is it happening?
So it's at Marks Park, it's at Emerentia at the five-a-side AstroTurf. Basically the program starts, the kiddies program starts at 8:30, and I think about 9:15 is when the adult classes basically start. It ends at about 12, and then there's food vendors throughout the day up until 5.
So families can actually just come out and make a day of it. And for the ones that are delayed, if you've got young babies at home, if it's too difficult to get out quickly, send a few of them early, you get a bit of a breather, and then go out at around 12 o'clock, go and have lunch, go and enjoy the time out. And I'm sure what I love also about the vendors is the fact that you're supporting and empowering small businesses as well in our community, which is fantastic. You mentioned earlier that Cape Town has also been quite a stronghold and very active in Charity Week. Let us know what our Cape Town viewers can get involved with.
Okay, so there's quite a few. Like I said, there's 9 institutions. So every institution, they are doing a few things. A lot of them are MSAs. There's the UCT and there's Tygerberg and Stellenbosch. So just to quickly go through, there's a movie night at one of the MSAs as well. There's clothing drive. So it might not be an event, but they are collecting for the needy. So there's some clothing drives. The dentistry faculty as well is the UWC dentistry faculty as well. They're also doing a toothbrush drive, and for that, I know at the Tygerberg MSA, they have on campus, they have a henna class, samosa sales, biryani sales. There's a toy collection drive. There's cupcake decorating competitions. So there's quite a few events in Cape Town. All the events are on the Charity Week Instagram page. So it's at Charity Week SA. So if you're in Cape Town, have a look at the page and see where you can, fit in and get involved next week.
And I love the fact that the MSAs are so actively involved and doing so much, because you think you're at university, there's so many other things you want to be doing. It's fantastic that they've taken such an active role in it. As Fatima had said, if you only have to go onto the page to have a look to see how many things are available for you. So there's absolutely no excuse saying that you can't get involved in something. There's enough for you to be involved in. I think one of the questions that we haven't asked yet, and it's a very important one, is where does our money go? Because if I'm donating, I'm sitting at home saying, okay, I can't be there, but let me do a donation to the organization, to Charity Week. Is my money going into the events that are taking place? Is my money going into looking after somebody? Let me know. I'd like to know where the money is going.
So when it comes to the money, like I said, there's 7 countries that are involved. So they all put in their funds together. And the thing is, I think the exciting thing is that no one knows how much is actually raised in the year until there's an international annual dinner. And this year it's in Birmingham. So it's in November, and there's a huge dinner where all the countries and institutions can get together, and that's where they actually announce the figure. I know last year the figure was almost close to 20 million rand, which was raised.
That's amazing.
In that 1 week. And like Nabila said, when you come together, you can do more.
Absolutely.
So what happens is, we all won't know what the actual amount is until it's released there, and inshallah it will be quite a nice figure. And then what happens after that? There's an online survey. which they are proposed projects, Islamic relief projects, which are there, and we can vote. The nice thing is that we can choose where our money goes. So the more money we have, the more projects we can fund. There are projects, because South Africa is launching in South Africa, alhamdulillah, they've even given South Africa as one of the options on the list. So there's Afghanistan, there's I think there's Syria, there's India, there's Pakistan. So there's a few countries, and then it will be on the Instagram pages as well. So if you were involved, you can vote. It was so nice. I had a meeting with one of the founders, and he told me, everyone has a say. Even if there was a learner who held a bucket for 5 minutes, they could also choose where that money goes to. So it's everyone who is involved. They can actually, we'll send the link out, and they have a vote, and then whichever projects are chosen, that's where the money will go.
So there's a full list, and under each country you will see exactly where your money is going to, whether it's to schools, whether it's to hospitals. Obviously each country has a different need, so we've ascertained what that need is. So you can decide, and then as Fatima said, go online, make your vote, and then the money will go to something good, whether it's schools or hospitals, medical.
Absolutely love that idea. I love the fact that I can be actively involved in making a decision as to where my money goes to. What an absolutely phenomenal way to actually also still say a community effort. And again, it comes back to saying Islamic Relief is truly a community networking organization, because even at that level, you're not saying we'll decide where your money goes. You're saying you actually have a say to contribute to where your money wants to be. It's absolutely fantastic. I'll definitely be voting on that as well. I hope it does come to our country, because I think we also need it here as well. Ladies, for each of you in your personal capacities, where to from here? Nabila, I know you are, as I said, involved in so many organizations with some very phenomenal names that are authentic and associated with credibility and reliability. And, that's why I always say, when you pick up the phone, I always say to everyone, you will never say no, because we know the type of people you're associated with and the kind of work that you do. And as I mentioned, always with credibility and with reliability. Where to from here for you?
So basically, it's all about giving back. It's all about unity, sustainability. I keep going back to that because it is very important. So I'm based in Johannesburg. I'm at the Islamic Relief offices. And anytime you want to donate your time, donate your money, donate your clothes, just give me a call, and we can help you, take care of that. The other thing is I'm always looking for volunteers. I do have a volunteer WhatsApp group. So anybody that's interested, they can get hold of me even on Instagram. Send me their details. I put you on the group. And anytime we have anything, whether it's a feeding scheme, whether it's, packing boxes, whatever it is, I put it on the WhatsApp group.
Fantastic.
And that also gets done in Cape Town as well. So anything that happens either in Johannesburg or Cape Town or Durban, we put it on, and anybody that's available in any of those areas, they can then come out and volunteer. It's always nice, and then we all work together, whether it's whatever it could be. It could be something big, something small. So if anyone is interested, contact me for that. And anything else charity related. There's so many people that need your time, that need your funds. So there's never a case where we could say we have enough. We never ever have enough.
You can always make a difference, and always an opportunity for that. And Fatima, for you?
I think, like you said, being an educator, and also I am the social outreach coordinator at Apex. So I think for me is basically to stay, and I think that is it's something I'm so passionate about, to get the youth involved in things like this. So, and I think also because Charity Week is new to the country and it's all about sustainability, I think I'm here to stay for that. So
Fantastic.
I was part of it from the beginning. I flew down to Cape Town in, I think it was April, where I went for an assemble, for a training. So I think for me from here is just to let Charity Week be a highlight of the year, for years to come, to grow it at a sustainable rate, but to make sure that, it's here to stay. And, one of the founders told me, once Charity Week enters a country, it's there to stay.
I love
it. So I think that's...
Well, on that note, ladies, welcome Charity Week to South Africa. We're very glad to have you here, and we look forward to it being a sustainable, long-term project that all of us as individuals and as organizations, as parents, as families can get involved in and to contribute to in an active manner. Shukran so much for joining us today in studio, and all the best for next week. We look forward to being a part of it. Just the one thing also that we forgot to mention is the ladies have kindly offered 2 tickets to anybody that would like to attend the event. It is a competition, so you have two options. One is you can call into studio and you can leave your details with the producers before the end of the show, and the first two callers will be given tickets. If we don't get anything in that time, it will be run on social media. We'll post it up a little bit later today. You'll have to be following Islamic Relief and Charity Week Instagram pages. Once you tag them in your post, you will then be eligible for those tickets, and we'll announce those winners by tomorrow.
By tomorrow.
Fantastic. Stay tuned. When we come back after the ad break, we have a dynamic young lady who's also teaching us about impactful and purposeful living.
ازرع جمالا أعطاره وابذل عطاء للورى ترى الحياة حلوة إذا الحياة تشترى ازرع جمالا أعطاره وابذل عطاء للورى ترى الحياة حلوة إذا الحياة تشترى.
Keep yourself and the kids happy this winter because we at International Brands Outlet have got you covered. With the dopest brands from Polo to Converse sneakers and a whole lot in between to keep you covered winter and summer, IBO will ease you into the office all the weekend in style with a range of products to keep the kids, mom and dad happy. Afford your true self with International Brands Outlet. IBO, affordable quality and style.
Honda Johannesburg South, services from 699 rands. Visit www.hondajhb.co.za. Stashy Distributors, your favorite packaging, baking and storage solution store situated in the heart of Fordsburg, Johannesburg. Visit our concept store and experience our extensive range of exceptional quality products, impeccable customer service and business with integrity policy that is sure to bring you back again and again. We do deliveries. Stashy Distributors, 6 Clare Road, Fordsburg. Call us on 011 492 0033. Sponsor a revert mother in learning the Deen for only 300 rands per month or 3,600 rands per year. Contact Madrasa Ihya Ulumuddin Lil Banat today.
For all your flexible packaging, snack packaging, candy wrappers, shrink sleeves, labels, cartons and other custom packaging, contact CPP Flexibles on 072474 1132 and at www.cppflexibles.co.za.
Nasima Khan Properties, established in 2007, offers excellent sales in the Sandton area to clients looking for an investment as well as a new home. So whether you're selling, buying or renting, look no further than Nasima Khan Properties. We find you a tenant and manage your investment. Contact Nasima at the Michelangelo or visit www.nasimaproperty.co.za. Nasima Khan Properties, where we make business extraordinary. If you think you have what it takes to be an estate agent, contact Shazia on 084 635 7684.
لا يزال الخير حيا لا يزال إن في الدنيا سلاما وظلال أخبر الأيام أنها في وصال قم بنا وانظر لآيات الجمال قم بنا وانظر لآيات الجمال كن كما غيث على الأفياء ماطر صوته يروي قلوبا وخواطر نفعه عم البوادي والحواضر قم بنا وانظر لآيات الجمال قم بنا وانظر لآيات الجمال لا يزال الخير حيا لا يزال إن في الدنيا
ازرع جمالا أعطاره وابذل عطاء للورى ترى الحياة حلوة إذا الحياة تشترى ازرع جمالا أعطاره وابذل عطاء للورى ترى الحياة حلوة إذا الحياة تشترى.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to the last segment of Itrend. We're discussing everything related to Charity Week, something that has come up repeatedly on our social media profiles, and we found out everything we needed to know in terms of what's happening, what's coming up, how it's impacting, where your money is going, and how it's linked to a massive collaborative organization like Islamic Relief. But coming back to it, we want to know what people on the ground are thinking. And one of these young dynamic ladies who are involved in it is a young lady who for me stands so much for someone whose name we're going to hear many, many years going forward. Someone who is resounding herself, or I apologize, for someone who is associating herself with an impactful and a purposeful life. And to be able to see a youth doing this, instead of just doing all the normal selfies and everything else that doesn't mean anything, she's making sure her life is associated with something of meaning and associating it with making an impact to those around her. Zahra Patelia, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Jazakallah for having me.
It is such a pleasure to have you on air. I think we've had your parents here, so we know that you've got very good role models that you're following, but you're also setting a platform for yourself. You're a young student that's gotten involved and decided to make Charity Week something different. Firstly, tell me what Charity Week means for you.
So Charity Week for me, it's about helping people, but not only helping people, helping the environment this year, because the theme is the environment. And what I want to do is also bring in helping animals, because they are as much part of the environment as humans are to the environment.
Zahra, you're a young student at Apex. This is something in terms of giving back. It's something that's part of it. You come from a family where giving back is part of who you are. You come from a religion that is that shows you that that's part of who you are. But why decide as an individual at your age that this is something you want to do? Because it's very easy to just sit back and say, I'll let somebody else do it, or I can rather chat to my friends or go out with my friends. Why have you decided that you wanted to be an active part of it?
Because animals are amazing. So I would rather be a part of doing something that matters and that will matter in 10 years' time or 20 years' time than sitting down and just saying, okay, so somebody else will do it. I can only do a little bit, so why should I even bother? But alone, we are only drops in the ocean, but together we make up the mighty ocean. So if we all participate and do it together, we will become something huge and amazing.
Absolutely. I think you're so right. You know, we underestimate how our little contributions make a massive difference. Mm-hmm. If each of us stands there and says, you know, we can do something little, you're absolutely right. You're an animal rights activist at this age, which is not very common in our community. We often see people shying away from animals. Some of us have been very scared of animals. Is this something you've always been interested in, or is this something as time has progressed that you feel needed more of an activism associated with it?
So I've always been interested in animal rights and because as I grew up, my mommy always told me, this is an animal, you should love an animal, you should respect an animal and treat it with kindness. So as I grew older, I realized you should do that, and I want to spread that message to other people and show them how animals are treated. And if you promote that message, a lot of other people would get involved and animals would start having more rights, because an animal doesn't have a voice to speak for itself. Like if a human was getting abused, and a human would be able to speak for themselves and say, no, this is not right. But if you're abusing an animal, it can't speak. So I feel like I should be the voice of that animal.
And there's no doubt you're going to be a very strong voice for it. I think it's amazing to see a young person be so conscious of the environment around them and for everything around us, because I think you're absolutely right. We get so sidetracked thinking we only have to look after ourselves and not worry about anything else. And like you mentioned, we have our environment that we are responsible for. We also have the animals that are living on this planet that we're responsible for as well. How do you see yourself doing this next week during Charity Week?
So next week, on the 7th of October, there's a Rietflei walk. Mm-hmm. So it's incorporating the zoo, the Rietflei Zoo, and that's promoting animals and promoting everything about animals.
And that's something that I'm sure you're going to be part of this walk and in the forefront of it.
I am.
How has your school or your peers taken to you saying, I actually want to have this as part of my Charity Week? Because very often when people come up with ideas, as we mentioned, it's always associated with other individuals in the environment. How have you been embraced, or how have people responded to you saying, I want a slightly different take on Charity Week?
A lot of people have been accepting of it, and my friends and everybody have loved the idea, because a lot of them are, like me, animal rights activists, and they are amazed by the idea, and they were so excited for that.
So basically also people that are sitting in other towns, in other areas that want to be involved, other young ladies who are saying, you know what, I also like animals. How can they get involved in contributing, and not just to Charity Week, also just generally being aware of animal rights, or that they want to be an animal rights activist like you?
So what they can do, if they don't have access to going to play with an animal, what they can do is donate to organizations such as Animal Anti-Cruelty League. So they've been running since 1956, and they're the second largest in South Africa. So you can donate money to them because they are a non-governmental organization, and they rely solely on the public for the money.
Yes.
And you can also donate to SPCAs because they are a governmental organization, but the government has cut down funds. So they need the public's funding to help them. And so they buy food with that money, they help shelter animals, they help animals that are being abused, and they do all sorts of those things. So you don't have to go and play with an animal and physically rescue an animal to be part of it.
Yes.
You can donate money even.
And I think that makes a big difference. And also the organizations you mentioned are very reputable organizations that are doing very good work in making sure they look after these animals. Have you been an active part of that as well? What's your role?
So I have gone to volunteer at the SPCA, and I absolutely love it. I love playing with the animals and talking to them. And as soon as you walk in there, they get so happy. You can see how happy they get to have human interaction, because they are in a cage and they spend their whole day there, and they don't know if they're going to get adopted or anything. So when a human being goes to play with them, they are so loving and caring towards that human being, and they love it.
I think you also make a very valid point about us not forgetting as human beings what our interaction could mean, whether it's for other human beings, whether it's for the environment, or whether it's towards animals. The impact of interaction, the impact of touch as well, and how profound that can be for anything around us. Zahra, for yourself, where do you see yourself going? You're an animal rights activist. You're still a student at Apex School. You're very involved in Charity Week. What I love about the fact is you stepped out of the box. You're not sitting in following what everybody else is doing. You're setting yourself as a leader and showing a completely different path that you're not afraid to travel on your own, even if you need to. And that is pretty remarkable for someone your age. Is it scary and is it daunting to do that when everything else follows one particular field?
It is scary because you have to make your own path. You have to walk through bushes and everything and difficult times. But it's rewarding. It's really rewarding, because when you reach the finish line or when you reach your destination, you will feel such happiness and you will be amazed by what you've accomplished.
You know, I really hope that there are so many more Zahra Patelias in this world, because when I sit and I listen to you, and I'm filled with so much of pride, because I just think that it's remarkable that we have young ladies in our community, young students in our community who are not afraid to actually be different, who are willing to step out of the box and say, I'm willing to do a different road. And the fact that you're saying, you know, it is a difficult journey to go through, but you'll come out okay because you understand what the bigger picture is about. And I have no doubt you're going to be a voice for so many as you go through this in your life as well. And the fact that you are choosing to be a voice for voiceless, I have no doubt there'll be many, many other projects along the way that you'll stand as a very strong voice for. What grade are you in at the moment?
I'm in grade 10.
So there's a long way to still go, but you're so strong at grade 10. What is the one thing, the one concept that has come up, and I know this slightly differs from where our program is, but I have to ask you this. The one thing that has come up on previous shows and feedback we've received from younger students has been about bullying and cyberbullying. And you're a young lady who's willing to actually stand aside from the normal box of what is the norm and saying, I'm willing to do something different. I'm going to be a leader in my field. What is your advice about bullying at this age? Cyberbullying. How are people able to deal with that?
So not a lot of people are able to deal with that. And I think what people are most scared about is telling people, because they have a fear of being judged. And what I tell them is, go tell somebody you trust, tell somebody who cares. don't just tell anybody, tell like your teachers, your friends, somebody who can help you, because if you continue just letting people bully you, it's going to make you feel terrible, and it's going to encourage the bully to do it to different people. So if you stand up to the bully and say, okay, I am not taking this, I am going to not be bullied anymore, and you go tell somebody and you stand up to the bully, that will stop. People will stop bullying you. That bully will recognize what he or she did is wrong and what they should, how they should change.
Absolutely. Do you think it's a very prevalent problem in your age category?
It definitely is.
And do you think, and I have to ask you, the reason I'm asking you this is, do you think events like Charity Week or being an animal rights activist or finding something of meaning and purposeful visits like going to the SPCA, do you think that helps in combating issues of being bullied and works on building self-esteem or feeling like you're contributing and doing something else?
It does, because when you work with people who have the same idea as you and are traveling on the same path as you, you feel like you are part of something bigger. So it definitely helps with bullying and helps with how you feel about yourselves, and it improves your self-confidence and self-esteem.
Fantastic. Zahra, what is your plans? Where do you see yourself going forward?
In the future, I do see myself hopefully becoming a vet and working with animals and standing up for them and still being how I am, but just a bit more, a bit bigger.
Inshallah. I have no doubt that you're going to be a dynamic voice for many of the voiceless in every space that you come into. I listen to the way you speak about bullying. I listen to the way you speak about being fearless and about being a leader. And I have no doubt that you're going to make a huge impact on our community. And I'm so proud to know you.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best for next week for Charity Week. How can people that want to get in touch with you or want to know what you're doing with the animal rights activism, are they able to get in touch with you via your school, or how can they be in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me via my school or on Instagram.
Fantastic. And we'll be able to see a lot more about what you're doing and how we ourselves can get involved in helping you.
Yes, thank you.
Zahra, thank you so much for joining us on air. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you.
Jazakallah for having me.
Zahra Patelia, that's definitely a name we'll be hearing a lot more in our future. And I think what's remarkable for me is that to have a young lady in grade 10 talk so strongly about what she believes in, to know that it differs so widely from the norm, but is not afraid to walk that road because she understands that her voice stands so strongly for the voiceless. That is a woman of courage. That is a woman that we want to be knowing about. And that is someone that our children should be looking to, because I promise you, this is what strong women are made of. Her name will be resounding for many, many years going forward. And inshallah, we have many more of her in our community. And if you do, please let us know who they are so that we can also highlight what they are doing. These are the women that are going to stand up against the bullying, stand up against anything that doesn't stand for purposeful living. I think all the guests on our show today have shown us what purposeful living is about, what intentful living is about, and how to make a difference in our lives. As Zahra said, it just takes a little bit for each of us to just do a little bit, because a little bit together makes a huge impact. And that's what we need to do, not just as people, but also as human beings. This is who we are. This is what gives our life meaning and tells us that we have a purpose here. Shukran so much for joining us on air today. Please do go and join in on Charity Week. Enter into the social media competitions to make sure you win those tickets. Follow them on social media to see how you can get involved. Remember, you don't have to be just in Johannesburg to get involved. You can be anywhere in the country and still be making an impact on the lives of others. If you want to take this into your own communities, get in touch with Fatima, Nabila or Zahra and see how you can replicate the same projects that they are doing, and you can make an impact where you are and make an impact to your surroundings. Shukran so much for joining us on air. I look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same place. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
ازرع جمالا أعطاره وابذل عطاء للورى ترى الحياة حلوة